Good morning, America, whomever you are, where you are in this big planet. All right, now the title of this newsletter today is promising to create quite a lot of havoc for Dr. Turi. But again, you know what? Are you ready to handle the undeleted truth? Well, you are definitely in the right place with me. All right, now the title associated with this video, or the newsletter associated with this video, is Coast to Coast, John Hogue, Irregular, and Dr. Turi. Now, first and primarily, I am not here to bash John Hogue or Irregular. That is not my intent. That is not my goal. I am here to clarify a few very important things that was discussed in the Coast to Coast AM radio show with my good friend George Norrie. All right, now, as you all know, back in August, if you have bought Nostradamus Dragon Forecast for the year 2020, you all know that the coronavirus was fully predicted. And some, such as the airline and the ships industry going berserk, and so much more. At a universal and personal level, my Nostradamus Dragon forecast that comes out every year is definitely letting you know well ahead in time what's going to happen. The sad reality is the world is not ready for real prophets. And I was not taken seriously. Have had this opportunity and on a bigger stage, chances are your government would have been prepared for the damage that's going on and for what's going on next. I understand many of you, including my wife, my honor wife, she buys up every single conspiracy tricks going on out there because she's so afraid. And remember, in the eternal battle between emotions and fears, our deep emotions, and logic, fears or imagination will always take over. That's the rule. So all excuses are there, not only for my wife, but maybe for George Norrie, his producers, and whomever is going on out there. After hearing so much damage and so much negativity, they don't want to believe it. I mean, you have to understand. Your entire life is changing, especially if you're in the public eye. So, you know, this is your living. This is your entire inner being. Your entire life is upside down. So I understand why you're so fearful and why you don't want to hear about the reality of coronavirus, my friends. But I was there in August preparing all of you. And only those who have invested in my ebook get to know that I am real. Now, let's talk a little bit about what happened in that show. Now, first of all, as you remember, I'm not here to bash anybody else, but it's very, very important that after you have heard that video, to click on the live link and read all the details, because there is a lot of things that I will not mention that is printed in that newsletter. And acknowledging it will become a major contribution to understand what I'm trying to pass on to you, my friends. As far as John Hogue is concerned, John and I, we used to be very good friends. In fact, he put my name in one of his biggest books. So to do that, I want to say thank you, John. And over the years, I always warned John and some other people like David Icke, for example, to be very careful, not to feed the reptilians, and to be very, very aware of Nostradamus curses. When I heard John saying that, you know, he put a curse because, you know, some people wanted to disturb his bones. We all know the story. A bunch of idiots out there, infected reptilians moron, thought that they could inherit Nostradamus' prophetic powers by drinking wine out of his skull. But anyway, so apparently John says that because of his bones being disturbed, there was a curse. No, John, you're wrong. The curse is against you. It's against people like you. that do not have the natal UCI, that never ever studied astrology like Nostradamus did, his 16th century divine astrology, which involved quatrains, and I added keywords, obviously. Okay, it is against people like you that would hurt his integrity, that would not have the tools, the talents to actually make correct predictions. And that means, of course, hurting the prophet's integrity and his good name. That's why there is a curse. Now, you want to read all the detail about the curse as written by the hand of Nostradamus. Remember, I was born in the south of France. I was in his house when I was not supposed to be there. Okay, long time ago. I'm 70 years old. So now I'm cursed. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you, read all about the curse that Nostradamus put against charlatans, writers, so-called astrologer or psychic wannabe that mess up his work and his integrity. All right, this is now being corrected. Okay, this doesn't take away the incredible amount of wisdom that John was born with. And he is a storyteller on the get-go. He's got everything as far as passing on stories, but there are things that are very important that touch me directly in my heart. Okay, so I have to clarify. So this is understood. Let's move on to irregular. Excuse me. When I heard irregular, I saw kids. This doesn't mean, again, he doesn't have powers. I don't know, but happens to be more of tricks and magician than real power. And there's more that, you know, bending spoon, getting an old clock working in this situation, my friends. So what I'm trying to tell you, and I'm going to attempt this again, that might turn many, many of you against me, mostly because you may assume that I don't like President Trump or Pope Francis. Wrong. Understand. For months, if not years, all I have used is universal infestation in many of my newsletters. I subconsciously, and from the archetypal realm of supracosmic consciousness, I knew that the world was going to get completely infested. And I knew that it is because of the power we all inherited it. Again, you like it or not, you know it or not, my good friends, you were made in the image of God. And contrary to what the Bible teaches you, you own the same exact powers than your creator. You are a power source of creation. I can only repeat myself, but repetition is a must when you try to build cosmic consciousness. The screen you're looking at, the technology you're looking at, the car you drive, the watch you read the time with, the cities like Los Angeles, New York, Paris, Washington, D.C., once upon a time did not exist. Pretty much like AIDS. The virus AIDS did not exist. But a lot of people out there who do not understand the phenomenon to why human being becomes gays or lesbians, okay? They don't pretend. They're suffering. They've been victimized by the reptilians right from the get-go of the gestation of their mother in the womb. Long story. It's all in my previous videos if you care to listen to what I have to say about what it means to be gays and lesbian and why they are gays and lesbian. But there are a lot of people out there who are not advanced psychically. They hate gays and lesbians. They hate. Now, those thoughts becomes like a laser. Very, very powerful. And that stimulate the mind of scientists to play around, to weaponize using science, any form of discovery. And that leads to the creation of a virus or a disease called AIDS. This is understood as far as AIDS and gays and lesbian are concerned. And I took that example because now your president, Mr. Trump, And again, remember, my work has nothing to do with politics, my good friends. I'm trying to make you aware of something here. All that Trump wanted from the depth of his soul is to build the biggest, the tallest world possible in our borders, especially with those from Mexico, because he was born with a dragon's tail, which is very negative, into the sign of Sagittarius. This sign rules Latino people, foreigners, foreign affairs, the nature, the wild animals, and religion. Now, he is the father of the United States, perceived as the top, the most powerful man, running the most powerful, beautiful country that we call the United States of America. That means he has a head of a lot of followers all over the world who, like him, do not like and fear foreigners. It is part of his celestial identity, part of his cosmic design to fear foreigners. Now, a lot of these people, millions of them from every country in the world, like or dislike Trump, are going to think, I hate you, you're a foreigner. And the next thing you know, the reptilians are enjoying manipulating the mind of a scientist, the scientists that are doing all sorts of things out there. And I do believe in conspiracy, believe me. Believe me, it's real. I know, I suffer one myself. Conspiracy against Dr. Turi. So all those thoughts now becomes like a laser beam. And somewhere, somehow, because we have been made of the image of God, because we are created from the core, we have created this virus. When I say we, not me, because I am not racist. But we all are different. This is so far-fetched. The information I have for you, my friend, are so ahead of time that only a tiny minority of you will be able to understand that everything you are, wherever you are in life, for good or for worse, is because of your thought. So when I tell you your future is nothing else than the reincarnations of your thought, pay attention, because that is very real and transforms into a reality that you cannot necessarily conceive, because you only have 5 irrational or limited human sense to delegate such high spiritual, psychical informations. Italy. Do you think it's again an accident for Italy to be literally cursed with 10,000 people dead? No, there are no accidents, my friends. There are only cosmic circumstances at work and entities that are delegating in our solar system that creates the end result. Pope Francis, like our president, was born with exactly the same dragon in Sagittarius. So he is the father of Italy, which now becomes a major target for the reptilians to induce more fear. And there goes the result. People are dying like fleas. Another guy who was born like President Trump and Pope Francis with that nasty tail in Sagittarius. Somebody who doesn't like foreigners. Joe Arpaio, the famous Phoenix cop, the Phoenix police chief, who has a long history of mistreating and hating foreigners. Do you think it's an accident for such a person who owns such power to have cursed so many Mexicans? Long story, my friend. Every one of us has a unique celestial identity. We are going to like, we are going to dislike. And you know, by experience, that it's pretty difficult to find somebody who will agree with everything you say. That's impossible, because there's trillions of people on planet Earth, and every one of us own a very different cosmic identity. Now you understand my dilemma? All right, let me take another stupid little example. Tell me, what was this pair of glasses, or the one you are wearing, or have or will wear. Okay. What was this 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago? Nothing. It was nothing. Everything that you see around you once upon a time did not exist, including coronavirus, including AIDS and other disease. We are power sources of creation. It's time for you to understand the importance of controlling your thought. Thought are things that sooner or later, led by fears and negativity, resentment of gays and lesbians or foreigners or God knows what, will become something that is intangible, that you cannot see, that you cannot understand, yet it's killing you. It's called a virus. Of course, viruses happen all the time, you're going to say. Of course, because people think, and their like and dislike is absolutely, incredibly powerful. I wish I had been on George Norrie's show and made millions of people aware of the power of the thought. I don't know how many of you have heard my last show with them on the superconscious in time and space, but oh my God, did I get such a good response. Yeah, it's either you deal with reality or a storyteller who is not exactly feeding you the right information about the great seers, because I took years and years of my life to rekindle a 16th century divine astrology. And again, I repeat myself, I'm the only living astrophile in 2020 who uses Nostradamus quatrains and keywords to make it easy for you, because I don't have to fear the French Inquisition anymore. I think I would have done such a better job in making you aware that the more you reject the reality of things, the more you feed the reptilians who cannot survive with your fears in dark matter, those entities that have hijacked our solar system, those entities that reside on Pluto at the verge of our solar system, the planet which is well known in astrology to represent the criminal element, life and death, drama, evil, the underworld. Do you think they have chosen Pluto by accident? No, it's the perfect energetic planet that stimulates their power to control, to destroy, to kill. What's going on right here on planet Earth, my friend, as I said in my last video, is the ramification of a war that's taking place above your head. It's the end result right here on this dense physical world. You know, to be able to enter the archetypal realm of supracosmic consciousness when you're a young soul, when you're fearful, when you're religious, when you have been indoctrinated, is a very, very serious challenge. For me, to help you to raise your psychical vibration, it makes you aware that whatever you think is whatever you will have in front of you in time and space, because there are forces that are in you that you are totally oblivious of. And again, I repeat myself, my good friends, you are so much more than bone, flesh, nerves, and blood. You are a power source of an infinite creative power that can go for you or against you, all depending on how you perceive and understand the phenomena. Again, the same rules. I will sound redundant to many of you who have been following me, and I just appreciate, and I hope you're sharing my work too. Positive, negative, up and down, black and white, the front, the back, God, devil, the yin and yang, male, female, 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 sides of the brain, a reptilian side, a draconic side. Understand you're symmetrical. You're like a battery. And anytime you degenerate, anytime you're negative, anytime you hate me, anytime you hate yourself, anytime you fear, you're degenerating. You're feeding the reptilians like fleas on a dog, sucking your life away. You have in you the power of God, which is much stronger than the reptilians. And even you curse the stars in some ways. We're all gifted. We're all children of the universe. We are so more powerful, so incredibly divine. We create everything, my good friend. I'm asking you to be responsible. Do not feed the reptilians. Go on the other side. Go to the draconis. Yes, I think Dr. Turi has something. Yes, I'm going to do my part. I am going to share his work. Yes, I should be hopeful that in time, this virus will disappear. But as long as you maintain the same fear as your president, a virus is gonna stay. Serious. Now, we have put a man on power, like the German put Hitler in power. See what happened to Germany. See the millions of deaths. Do you think I'm joking? That brings me back again to Uri Geller, who assigned himself for conspiracy. Yes, he was saying on the show that the CIA or spy went to China, and from there he traveled through Italy, and then he went through Iran. The guy is a Jew. He's a religious fanatic who believes the covenant, does not know nothing about the reptilians creating our religion, because our religions have created more chaos than all the wars, all the disease and natural disaster combined together. So it's normal as a Jew person that Iran is the enemy, and he uses common sense. My God, there is so much more. All right. Now, we are at the beginning of this new SOS to the World Deadly window. So I took some example for you to help you to assimilate. Again, remember, my good friends, this window is all about the beginning or ending of important phases of life. Okay? And again, I recommend you very, very strongly to read the newsletter. So let's see what the news are all about that I collected. Italy coronavirus death toll past 10,000. Many are asking why the fatality rate is so high. I just explained it to you. Thanks, Pope Francis, for his stars. Does it mean he's bad? Does it mean he's good? That's your choice. I'm here just to translate how God speaks to his children and how you, being born at the image of God, there is no difference between you and God. You create, you inherit the same creative power. You may not have been taught that on your Sunday school. I'm teaching you that. Now, if you recall my words on Kerry Cassidy, I said the reptilians are after famous people and children. Okay, now you have this stupid, pretty select, idiotic Kim and Courtney Kardashian melee that leaves people shocked. Wow. I also said children will be touched and an infant dies after testing positive for coronavirus. Somebody must be right. Now, the SOS to the world is here. Nature meant to strike hard. New horizon following tragedy. Much to fall, nothing made to last. Tear, pain, death, a new life for many. A new life or death, because that's what it is. And by the way, the last time I sent you, I made a newsletter. That was 5 days ago. Okay, March 25th, a 7.5 earthquake took place in Russia. And if you listen to the Kerry Cassidy show, I gave you the date of the 27th. Wow, I saw it happened on the 25th, not on the 27th, Dr. Turi. But Russia is ahead of us, meaning that I was dead on. And believe me, a 7.5, my friend, does not happen every day. Let's just let you know a little bit, because who's checking my data, my prediction, unless I throw it in your face and prove it to you? All right, coronavirus prey on one of our biggest fears. Remember, when you have somebody that is very close to you, a brother, a sister, a mom, a dad, a grandpa, a grandma, a friend that is dying, and you can't go there, that by itself is not only extremely fearful, but very, very negative, because now you're forced into a spiral of negativity as intended by the reptilians who want you to go down deeper and deeper and lose all your friends. My friend, the plague in France, le charbon, as we say in French, is not a joke. And it was created by the thought of millions of people, religious fanatic idiots who thought that one day God will punish them. Well, God didn't punish them. They punished themselves in their own ignorance. Yeah, the charbon, the plague, was also created by us all, the French, Europe. Don't know how am I going to do this to help you to raise, but I can only try. Fossey says Trump agrees not to invoke a strict quarantine after intensive discussion. Of course, I mean, you know what, all the people, we're going to be controlled by the government. We're going to end up in concentration camp. Our liberty is gone. What's going on? All these people who have been watching too much of David Icke stuff, which is religious point, which is infected by the reptilians. Those people now can only generate more fears. So in order to not to create panic, no, you're not going to lose your liberty, my friend, but coronavirus is real. We're going to make sure not to work with you. That's what it is. You understand that? U.S. could see millions of coronavirus cases, 100,000 or more deaths, Fossey says. Do you think he's making it up? My prediction seems to be working so far, even though that I am rejected all over the place because nobody can understand me, because I'm too far ahead of time. Fact of the matter here, you better be careful, and you need to change your thought process. And how long is going to last, Dr. Turi? As long as your president is in charge. When you answer, you got it. Whatever, I hope I'm wrong. State begin coronavirus checkpoint, threaten jail time for out-of-state traveler. I mean, with such a negative title, how don't you expect all the people that have been indoctrinated either religiously or by listening to Rush Limbaugh or God knows what's out there, don't generate more fear? That is set by the reptilians. You need to change your train of thought. You need to be more positive, but I have to go and get you where you are, down here in hell, in your ignorance, in your fears, and try to raise you above by making you aware that you're a power source of creation and you have been made in the image of God. And again, you like it or not, you have the same power because you cannot differentiate two images. Didn't say that, the Bible said that. You are God and goddesses in this dense physical world in training. You're nothing less than God and goddesses in training, for God's sake. Understand me, control your thoughts, because at the end, you'll have it in your face, like the coronavirus. Sorry, I'm getting emotional again. Coronavirus measure in Africa escalate to violence as police, military enforce lockdown. Again, the same story, fear, 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 fear. It's getting worse, it's getting worse. And so is the coronavirus because you're pushing it. Now, like Quattro Kelly mentioned, nature meant to strike hard, new horizon following tragedy. The next thing you know, a tornado rips through Arkansas and injured 22 people. FDA authorized a 15-minute coronavirus test. So that's good news. I remember I did a video, 2 or 3 videos ago. I was sick, my eyes popping on my head, I was coughing, I was sneezing, everybody was running away from me. But there's a lot of people who have cold out there, my friend. They don't have coronavirus. As long as you have no fever and you eat and you have energy, you're not infected. Of course, you got to be more vulnerable, so you got to be more careful. Yeah, and I see my good friends, ex-police chief, nurses out there running the front line, fighting for your fears, fighting to heal you and your family members. Maybe I should join the line too. Maybe I should jump into one of these trucks and go to New York where nobody wants to go, or Washington State, and deliver those big 53-foot trailer food and medical supplement to hospital. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. Join my friends in the fight because I have no fear. So helping you here is a good thing, but maybe getting front line and proving to you that I have no fear, that I can get it because a magnet will attract a piece of wood. Maybe I should go back and become an OTR and help the world when they need me the most. Maybe I do that. Disneyland and Walt Disney were to remain closed because of coronavirus. Again, beginning and ending of important phases of life. Nostradamus is suing more than 100,000 faces masked for health and care workers. That's a good news. I want to hear that. At least 8,503 people are in the hospital for corona across New York. Again, one more reason for me to, I have my CDL license and jump there in the front line and help the world. Maybe I should do that. I said beginning, ending of important phases of life, which always involve death. John Callahan of TV show All My Children, dead at 66. Actor Matthew Faber, dead at 47. They said he died of a natural cause. And nobody dies of a natural cause at 47. Too much drugs, too much depression, too much negativity, and the reptilians own his body, his mind, and his soul, and he's gone. 33-year-old member of this governor's staff died of, I can go on. But something that is very interesting here, that makes the end of a lot of people's life. 8 killed in the plane crash, reportedly carrying medical supply in the Philippines. New York passed the dies from coronavirus, becoming the first U.S. Catholic priest to succumb to disease. You're not supposed to talk to people and pray God when you know nothing about God. You and the popes don't know anything about God. You don't understand and hear how God speaks to you outside of your Bible, which was created by the reptilians to deceive you even more. And goes Joel Osteen. He shares message of hope as American faces coronavirus pandemic. Out the hell, this religious fanatic can help you with good words. Where is his deep wisdom? Where is his connection with God? None. He's just fearful lamb. And millions of people are following these idiots. And you wonder why we're here in this mess. When you have leaders like this who are not cosmic conscious, religiously poisoned, or atheists out there, and you wonder why the rest of us suffers. Maybe I should be the president, Jesus. Marion Man defies coronavirus emergency orders, house bonfire with 60 people. See those idiots? The fear is so strong. No, it doesn't exist. No, it's not real. Remember, my friend, I know it's a long video, but remember, in the eternal battle, between emotions and logic, emotion will fly through the window. Logic will fly through the window, and emotion will run supreme. That's why the idiot and 60 other people are defying the government because of fear of losing their freedom. At the same time, they're going to give you coronavirus. Idiots, stay home. It's real. You like it or not. All right. Same old story. Do you really want to know if I predict it or not? Well, you have a link. Click on the 2020 Nostradamus Dragon forecast, my friend. Read about the universal laws. Read about the universal prediction. And most of all, read on how these dragons are going to get to you so that you can be prepared. Face your fears. Make a choice. It's all going to be okay in time. Okay? Wash your hands. Keep your distance. But if you fear it, it will find its way to you. That's as simple as that. The law. A magnet will attract a piece of wood. If you're positive, if you have hopes, you're going to catch cold, like I did. You're going to get out of it without coronavirus. It's all up here. One more time, my friend. Acknowledge, understand, assimilate, and accept that you are a powerhouse of creation. As I told you earlier, much more than bones, blood, nerves. You're a human being. You were made in the image of God. You've got this power. And the essence of God in you is stronger than all that negativity and the evil and the devil that we have created. Because the most powerful man on the planet has negative stars that are endorsed and supported by a bunch of other people who have the same type of fears or the same stars. It all comes down to the stars. It's all written in light. And this is how God speaks to me, through the sign. All right, not sure when I'm coming back, but for the time being, my good friend, God bless all of you. Be safe and be positive. And before you go to bed tonight, remember, make a prayer for you and for the world by saying, my future is nothing else than the reincarnation of my thoughts. If you only knew, my good friend, the power involving this sentence, maybe my dilemma will fade away. Until then, one day everybody will think like me or like you. Extreme majority. Make it a beautiful day. Be positive. Bye-bye.